Hey, welcome back, people. It's Ignister Ian, and with the Ignister Cup all said and done and a winner declared, I figured you'd like to see what our winner was playing. Toph was playing an Invoked Eldlich deck, and I have Toph here to give us a deck profile and a test hand. So, without spoiling anything, go ahead and go over to Toph showing you the deck.
Alright, so for the deck list, we're going to start with the 3 Alistair. Pretty self-explanatory. 2 Eldlich, better light target than anything in the game. Triple Drone Lockbird, and triple Effect Veiler for your hand traps. Too many decks running like 15 hand traps, in my opinion. And I think you just need Droll's Floodgate, and then Effect Veiler is just Effect Veiler. It's also light, which is why we run it over in Perm. Last 2 monsters are Dragoon package monsters, and then we have for spells 2 Red Eyes Fusion. If you draw 1, it gets ashed. If Anaconda gets hit, then this way you have like a backup. In my opinion, you want to draw into this at some point, so you either want to draw into it or you want to have it no matter what. So 2 is kind of optimal to have, in my opinion, because you send this cost for Anaconda, so like if it gets negated, you just kind of shit out of luck. It helps to undead draw certain cards. Obviously 1 terraforming, and then triple meltdown and double invo. Standard ratio. Triple super poly. In my opinion, this is one of the best cards in the game. Outs pretty much everything except for the Ignister Towers, which is one of our few weaknesses with the deck. Is getting over that thing. Being able to use pretty much anything we want for materials, considering our extra deck when it comes up, is very powerful. 1 Cursed Outland, I think you'll need more than 1, and Call by the Grave, because getting Ash sucks. Triple Solemn J, triple Strike, counter traps. You love them, you want to see them, you want to play them. Triple Sanguine, because you're playing Eldlich. Triple Conk. And then no Haquero, because honestly, if you want to play DD Crow, just play DD Crow. Sanguines, obviously get out your Eldlich. This is like the standard 2-card trap combo that you really want to play. They cycle themselves anymore, and I think you're clogging up your deck with an engine that doesn't need to be there. And then the last 3 cards of the deck are triple summon limit, because you want to have some sort of floodgates, and having the trap summon limit be there is pretty good to have. It just really solidifies your deck, or solidifies your lead if you go first and draw it. So it's a difficult card for a lot of decks to out, because not a lot of decks main deck back row removal. So you get to side into so you get to outdo their sides when you do side this out. Artemis, Link Spider, and BLS are your 3 main Link monsters outside of Anaconda. BLS because you play Eldlich, Link Spider because you play Conk, and then Artemis obviously because you play Alistair and you need light targets. Your 3 super poly targets are Starving Venom, Mud Dragon, and Invoked Elysium. You're playing Invoked, so Elysium is just good. And then Mud Dragon and Starving Venom are like the 2 best super poly targets in the game. If you're playing super poly, you have to play with both of those. Otherwise, your deck just doesn't really have good targets, and you don't get to out pretty much anything in the game. Then we also have Kaliga for Dark, Purgatory for Fire, Magellanic for Earth, Raging for Wind, 2 Mikaba for Light. It's also part of our combo. And then we have 1 Agoetes for Fusion. We play all these are super poly targets, as well as just ways to play into our invoked engine. Megallanica, funnily enough, also can go into Link Spider, because it is a normal fusion monster. It counts as a non-effect monster. And then our last 2 cards are Anaconda and Dragoon, of course. And then the side deck changes a little bit depending on how turnout is. So I have the 2 Cosmics that I typically side in every once in a while, but for the tournament that we played in, I did not run the Cosmics. I ran triple Nibiru, triple Called by the Grave, or not Called by, triple Dark Ruler No More, which we had triple Called by. Triple Twin Twister, 1 Duster, 2 Master Restrict, 2 Anti-Spell, and 1 Imperial Order. We can go over this, Striker, Invoked, Shadal, like all this just fucks all those over. This hits Mystic Mind really well, and that's kind of why I started studying Cosmics again. Master Restrict hits Striker because they want to kaiju us, and Ray has to tribute herself for her effect. It hits Monarchs technically. It hits True Dracos technically, but Lava Golems and all those can't be. You just make Master Restrict just makes it so you can kaiju me with anything really for the most part, and then Drytrons can't play the game at that point. So it's like an auto win against Drytron. Duster and Triple Cyclone or Triple Twisters. The Triple Twisters were decided way more than the Duster was, but the Duster is good for like Alter Grace and stuff. Twisters is great for prank kids because in standby you hit their back row and they can't play the game. Pandemonium can only be used in the main phase, so they can't fusion summon at that point. So if you summon limit and then hit them with this, they just don't play the game. It's good against Salads because you hit their back row, they are forced to negate it, or they lose rage and everything. So many decks require their field spell to stick, so if you hit their field spell or their continuous spell, so Twin Twisters are just good against like Prank Kids, Strikers. A lot of these matchups you're gonna hear meta calls, even though we didn't really play the meta decks in the tournament. Not called by, I keep saying that, Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler hits pretty much every deck that sets up a board that I need to worry about effects for. To be fair, in the finals, I probably should have sided this in against Skull Servants in some capacity to turn off the effects of the Skull Servant on the field, or the King, so I can just run the King over, because I think at one point I couldn't run over the King in game 2, so I just had to wait, but I mean it worked out in the end. So and then Triple Nibiru is like anti-rogue on crack. Nibiru was just not healthy for the game. To be fair, a lot of things aren't healthy for the game, so but Nibiru just shuts off combo decks, or not shuts them off, but it definitely helps you react to combo decks, so that way you can still play the game. Clearing a board and giving yourself a big rock, and they have a big token, typically, like, as long as the card can be affected by card effects, so like this, which is the reason why Ignisters kill us so hard. It's not just that their monster has huge attack, it's also because it's unaffected by card effects. So it's difficult for us to really do anything about that card, because like, for example, the tokens that we give to our opponent with Nibiru can be huge. Like, I think the biggest attack that I've ever seen on a token was like 30,000 attack. Like, we can still get over that with Eldlich just by sending a spell or trapping it into the graveyard. The issue, or like we just sanguine conk it on their turn, so they can't do anything with it. The issue we have with the Ignister guy is that like we can't affect it. So even 4,000 on that is enough to hurt us.
I just wanted to take a quick moment away from this video. I have something to tell you all. We now have a merch store. Thanks to my friend, artist, and mod, Dan, we have some really, really cool designs for you. Designs like the Schrodinger's Mirror Force tee, which I am currently wearing, and stuff like the Whale Go Splash, which I will have pictured somewhere on this. Those, of course, being the best memes from the stream, so of course I had to get those first for the merch art. T-shirts, both long and short sleeve, hoodies, mugs, and a gamer mouse pad. And let me tell you, Whale really does go splash with the mug. I'm sorry, I have a new camera angle. I'm really excited to finally get some merch out because I've been planning this for months and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. So do me a solid, click the link down in the description, go check out my merch store, maybe pick something up. New designs will be coming out all the time, including something with this little guy incorporated. Oh, he reached for the mic, that was perfect. As well as special mystery art every once in a while. They'll only be available for 2 weeks once it hits the store, so make sure you get that whenever it hits the store. Thank you all for your love and support. I couldn't be here without all of you. And with that, go ahead and get back to the video. Say bye.
Alright, so we're like test hands. This one's pretty simple. So this hand can go either way. So we open the Red Eyes Fusion, so we can start with that, but typically we're afraid of Ash. So typically we go Cursed Eldin, and then we pay it to search. If they don't know what we're playing already, most of the time they Ash this. So we do this, we search, we get Eldlich out of the deck. If they don't ash this, then we can still play a Red Ice Fusion, or if we're still scared of it, we go full combo here. So if we're really scared of ash, we go normal summon Alistair and activate the effect. Assuming they don't have ash, we still have full combo, so we just search the invo. And then full combo is just having Alistair and a way to get to, or a way to get to Alistair and a way to get to Eldlich. So there's that right there. We link one. Then we activate Invocation. We banish the Alistair, and then we send the Eldlich and hand the graveyard. We summon Invoked Macabre. We now play around hand traps. Like the only thing that they can do now would be to quote unquote out Macabre would be to be playing Imperm. But because we're good players, obviously, we open up 2 trap cards. So we use Invo Graveyard effect, puts Alistair back in hand, so we don't have to worry about monsters now. So now we have a spell trap and a monster negate in hand for Macabre. So Macabre can basically negate anything. We use Eldlich effect. We send this Cursed Eldin to the graveyard and just special summon itself. Because we have Sanguine in hand, we'll resolve the rest of the effect. It's really bad. We shuffled and like legitimately Dark Magician and Red Eyes are right next to each other in the deck. So we send Conquistador. You typically don't send Eldlich if you've already got Eldlich on in play. And so here we just link these two for Anaconda. We'll summon them over here. So we open the Red Ice Fusion. Most people would think that, you know, it's dead, but because we play 2 Red Ice Fusion because we're good players, we send the other Red Ice Fusion. And then the Dark Magician or Red Eyes. The Summon Dragoon. Typically we summon them over here so we can't get Geomancered or Animate or whatever. So, and then, you know, this is typically full combo for turn 1. We have Sanguine in hand, but we're not going to set that. We would set the summon limit. We'd keep these in hand, so we have one of each type for negate. And then we banish the Conch during the end phase to set Scarlet Sanguine. And if we were worried about Mech Knights, we'd play it here. So we play full Aeron Mech Knights. We have Dragoon, Macabre on board. And we don't really lose too much here. Like, even Dark Ruler doesn't really kill us. Mostly because of our summon limit. So unless they're playing a way to get around back row as well as playing Dark Ruler at the time, we just kind of win. We can negate with Dragoon, we can discard freely the Red Ice Fusion. We can negate with Macabre, like for a monster. We can summon limit to block them, so like Drytron can't play through it. Prank Kids can't play through it. And those are like our worst match. Like those are some of our worst matchups. But even with summon limit and like these two on the board, and a spell in hand, like Striker is probably one of our worst matchups next to Ignisters for the most part. If we don't go first, so if, like if this is our go first hand, then we're probably winning. We're probably still winning that game. Going second is definitely a lot more difficult for us to win. And that's mostly because we have to somehow get over. Typically against Ignisters, it's like it's the 4K towers that's like unaffected by stuff, and that's pretty big just because we can't. It's dark, so we can't even attempt to Anaconda target it. And then the Gator Anaconda, the gain the 1,000, so we can crash. So we'd have to do that like on that Mechaba. So we have to lose our Dragoon and our Anaconda, and then Mechaba is the only thing left. And that's if they didn't just Dan Mari our Alistair or something. So we have to pray that that's how that goes.
All right, guys. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave this video. I really want to thank Toph for being in this video and taking the time to give us a deck profile. And I want to thank everybody for participating in the Ignister Cup. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I upload new videos. Follow me on social media. All the links will be down in the description. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you next time. Peace out.